I'm done with this club. I'm genuinely done with this club. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm done with this club. PSG may legitimately, I can't even speak. PSG may legitimately not qualify for the next round of the Champions League in this new expanded format where basically everyone qualifies. All right, you need to be the top 2/3 of teams to qualify. PSG are currently 25th. Deep that. PSG are 25th. Just to read off some of the names, PSG are the teams below PSG. Sparta Prague, Stuttgart, Shakhtar Donetsk, Girona, Salzburg, Bologna, RB Leipzig, Sturm Graz, Young Boys, Red Star, and Slavia and Bratislava. Those are the teams PSG is competing at the bottom of this Champions League group phase. Those are the teams they're competing against. With all due respect to those teams, PSG should not be competing against those teams. But at this point, over the context of the game, PSG, I don't care what you have, PSG did not deserve to win that game. PSG were not deserving of winning that game. And as a fan, you're supposed to be, optimistic and hopeful and whatnot. But I try to usually be like that. I try to not usually be extremely, an extremist and sway to one thing too much. But at some point, I got to call things what they are. And so I apologize in advance if this is, I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm just going to keep the camera rolling. It's going to be very raw, uncut, just me blabbering on, me yapping. And if you guys listen through it, thank you. But I don't even know where to start. Because it's fun and dandy and all saying that, oh yes, PSG, this new young team, give us some time, this, that, and the other. I'm all for that. I get it that, Rome wasn't built in the day, this, that, and the other, yada, 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 that we're getting chances. But bro, when over 2 seasons, the same problem remains. PSG cannot finish. PSG cannot finish. In the league, we're fine. In the league, we'll score goals. We'll score goals against Montpellier. We'll score goals against Rennes. We'll score goals against Lille. We'll score goals against everybody in Ligue 1. No problem scoring goals then. As soon as we hear that little tingly Champions League anthem at home, where it doesn't matter where it is, we tremble. We're shivering. We're quaking in our boots. We cannot finish. PSG have scored 2 goals themselves in the last, 5, 6, who knows how many Champions League games. PSG, in the last 5 home Champions League games, have won a single game and have lost 3. 3 at the Parc des Princes. What used to be a coliseum, a fortress for PSG in European football. PSG have now lost 3 times in the last 5 home games. 5. 3 losses, 1 win against a scrappy win against Girona, and a draw against PSV last week. Now I know PSG fans are going to say, yes, but we had the most difficult, lineups of teams we've played. Okay. Yes, Atletico Madrid is a good team, but come on, guys. This is not Atletico Madrid of 5 seasons ago. This is an Atletico Madrid team we should be beating. Arsenal, fair enough. I think Arsenal is the only game I could say, fine. PSV, we need to be beating PSV. Girona, we should be doing way better against Girona. And we still haven't faced arguably our two toughest games. We still have to go away at Bayern and receive City at home. PSG may legitimately now, if PSG qualify for the top 24, I will be surprised. I'm saying it now. If PSG qualify for the top 24, I will be surprised. PSG are now needing to rely on, first and foremost, the good fortune of other teams and hoping that other teams will continue to slip up and whatnot. But PSG may need to rely on getting a result at home against Manchester City. At home against Manchester City, arguably the best team in the last 3 years. I try to be optimistic, but at some point I'm realistic. I never thought that PSG was going to go and win the Champions League. I wasn't saying that PSG needs to go and make finals and whatnot, but with the young team and everything. But I wasn't expecting us to be this bad, because at some point we have to say things as they are. PSG, oh my goodness, I'm going to say it in français. Nous ne sommes pas qui nous penserons être. We are not who we thought we were. We are not that guy. We are not them. We are not them. We are not that team. It's nice and all doing it in the league and everything, steamrolling, Barcola, Dembele, everything. But when it matters, when times get tough, when true men, when the time calling, when you knock on the door in the Champions League, the big nights, everybody's looking at you and you can't do it. That's all that matters. And you, oh my goodness, the context of this game is so PSG. You dominate the first 15 minutes. You look at the peak of your powers in the first 15 to 20 minutes. Nothing can stop you. Nobody. You score a great goal, Zaire Emery. And then what do you do in typical PSG fashion? You lift your foot off the gas. They go and score 4 minutes later. And what do you do after then? For me, the most annoying thing is that the fact that after those first 20 minutes where you were completely dominating them, once they score, what did PSG do? after that time. Bar the last couple of minutes there in the last 15 minutes where, we needed to get a result. We needed to get a goal. What did PSG do? What did we do? Just recycle the ball, tiki-taka, nice pad. We stat padded. Got what? I think PSG finished that game. PSG finished the game with 71% possession. 71% possession. 22 shots. 9 shots on target. In comparison, Atletico Madrid had 4 shots, 3 on target. Their XG was 0.66. PSG's was 1.92. It's one thing to go and say, yes, we're creating chances, we're creating opportunities and whatnot. But when PSG are consistently underperforming their XG, you have to start like sounding the alarm bells. Who is it? And honestly, now I haven't done this. But now I'm genuinely, I put the blame on the board, the higher ups of PSG. So the manager, Luis Enrique, has to take a huge burden of responsibility in this game. Luis Enrique is the first culprit. 𝙀𝙊𝘾𝙖𝙀𝘾𝙖𝙀𝑃, as well as Lucian Campos. Because it's nice and dandy telling me this whole thing of, we're all here, we're going to have young players. We don't need a striker, is what he said in the summer. We said he was happy with the transfer window. Okay, fine. That's fine. But then when PSG's one and single only problem, the one thing that all PSG fans said, if there's one thing I would have liked in our transfer window is to get a striker, and that's the one area we're struggling at most, at some point you gotta call a spade a spade. You gotta call a spade a spade. That is PSG's current problem. The fact that you let arguably one of the best, most deadly, lethal finishers in the world, even though Mbappe's not been, great in his footballing play and whatnot, it doesn't matter. This is a player who would consistently get you 50 plus goals a game, who, despite perhaps not even having good games, would still net you important, crucial goals in Champions League games. Now he's gone. He's not there. And who do you replace him with? No one. You don't get a single player. You don't get anybody. You get a 19-year-old, raw, unpolished, unfinished 𝙬𝙬 𝙬𝙬. You say that, okay, I'll stick with Randall Colomani and Gonzalo Ramos. Fine, okay. Then Gonzalo Ramos gets injured. So now your main striker is now out of commission. So what would you do then? You think, I'm going to start playing my other 9? No. You try to fiddle, meander, this, that, and the other, false 9. We don't really need a 9, no blah, 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 so on and so forth. Okay, it's 90 in the league when, you get 1,000 opportunities and, eventually one of those is going to go in. But in the Champions League, when you need somebody, a lethal finisher killer, it's just not good enough. Genuinely. And the thing is, you take Randall Colomani, you spent nearly like 90 million on him for him to run on the bench, not even get opportunities to come on, throw him at the last couple minutes. The thing is, though, even though Colomani, I would say, is Colomani good enough for PSG? No. I've fallen off. I've come as much as I want to like him as a person and so on and so forth. As a footballer, I just do not think that he is good enough for the standards of PSG. But he's still a striker. He is still somebody who you put a ball in the box, he can get ahead to it. He can in a spark, he can give you something. But the fact is that no, he wants to rely on his tiki-taka. He's stubborn in his play, and I understand that you want to play the way you want to play. So on, I get that. But at some point, the Champions League is the definition of a competition that is pragmatic. Why do Real Madrid succeed in that in the competition so much? Because they are a pragmatic team. They might not always play the nice tiki-taka football, passing it around, really nice flicks and whatnot, but they will kill you when they need to kill you. They will score when they need to score, and that's all that matters. That's how a club gets to 15 Champions Leagues. And ultimately, that's the difference between, even though Real Madrid, lost yesterday, that doesn't matter. They'll be fine. But this is a continuous pattern. You get chances. And the more and more the game goes on, the more and more I knew, first and foremost, we were not going to score. We weren't going to score. And then to give up a dying minute goal, last minute, this is the exact type of stuff that you're forcing the result. You need to put yourself in a position to where now you're forcing everybody forwards. There's nobody coming back defending, and they scored with the literal last kick of the game. I need, bro. Question needs to be asked of the higher ups. Luis Enrique first and primarily, because he's the one who said he was happy with the squad. Luis Campos for whatever this transfer policy is, and 𝙀𝙀𝘾𝙖𝙀𝘾𝙖𝙀𝑃 for some of this nonsense meandering of I bring my own players, this, that, and the other. I understand that, I'm not saying that PSG needs to go and be the best club and top in everything here, and going and winning Champions League. No, but I just want to see progress. And yes, perhaps in the league we are playing better. It's better football. I like the youth. I like the 𝙁𝙁𝘾𝑼𝙎, so on and so forth. But 𝙁𝙁𝘾, as good as he did the league, he cannot replicate that type of form on the biggest stage. Dembele, same thing. Dembele, great, will cause opportunities, but at the end of the day, football is a results-based sport. You need to get goals, and you just can't do that. Hakimi, even though I think he had a good game overall, some of those chances, you have to put some of those in, scoring it and everything. And that gets me on to, oh my goodness, Fabian Ruiz. I said it on stream. When Fabian Ruiz came on, I knew the game was done. You take off arguably what your best two midfielders. I thought João Neves and Warren Zaire-Emery had pretty good games today. You bring off your two best midfielders in the game to bring on Fabian Ruiz. This is not the Fabian Ruiz of the Euros. He's gone. He's on holiday. He just only decides to turn up for the international breaks. All right? Fabian Ruiz is not good enough to play for PSG. I don't care. Why is he coming on? Why is he coming on? Why do you take off Dembele? Even though Dembele, I know he has his issues and he can't finish and whatnot, but you bring on a 19-year-old Désiré Doué in a game where you basically need to win it. You need to win it, and you throw him in. So, like, these are some of the decisions I'm asking myself. Like, I'm genuinely now having to think of a world. I understand last season, okay, it was tough. We grinded, but in the end, we squeaked our way through. We made it to the knockout stages of the Champions League. But now here, genuinely, you still have your two toughest tests yet to come. You could play Bayern next week away from home at the Allianz Arena. Most likely, realistically now, Bayern, I have to say, Bayern is a better team right now, even though they're not, setting the world alight. They are a better team than PSG currently as things stand. And a realistic world, PSG could be on 4 points after 5 match days, on 4 points. And will need to go and win basically at Salzburg. 100, no questions asked. Potentially need to get a result at home against Manchester City, and then need to go away to Stuttgart. PSG, who was already at this point, at least, when you're not performing away from home, at least you're okay at home. That typically used to be the thing with PSG. Sure, maybe they wouldn't, be able to get results away from home, but at least at home we would be able to do the job. But no, that's gone too. That's gone too. To this point, home, away from home, flipping in a neutral venue, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. PSG get randalled. 3 losses in the last 5 home games. And even even defensively, PSG didn't really concede many chances. I thought the midfield was fine. The one big issue is that we cannot kill games. And especially with teams like Atletico Madrid, they are teams who will be happy to defend the entire game. And with their one action, their one moment, they got 3 shots on target in this game. 3. They scored 2 goals off of them. If you look at the momentum of the game, it was entirely all PSG moments, half chances for Atletico Madrid. But on the 2 half chances, they scored. And I get that this is a young team, this, that, and the other, but at some point, I'm not quite on the train of Lucho out. I think you have to go and you suffer the consequences. You go and you let him go. But even though I wasn't expecting PSG to go and steamroll their way through the Champions League, I wasn't expecting us to be this bad. Not this bad. Squeaking a victory against Girona, getting a draw against PSV in a game you should win. And the thing is, though, you go and you look back at the press conference of these managers after the game, and they're telling you that, honestly, yeah, the fact that the Girona manager saying, yeah, PSG should kill us way early on. Peter Bosz after the PSV game says, in a normal world, we do not win this game, we lose this game. It's nice and all, yes, it's flattery that, the passes, we're creating chances, this, that, and the other. I don't care. I'd rather win every single game 1-0, parking the bus, this, that, and the other, and we go on through, and we're top of the group phase, and playing this really nice tiki-taka football. Call me, pragmatist, whatnot. I want results from my team. Ultimately, I care about results. Bro, this thing's done. And the fact too, though, the way you concede your final goal, you're going, on the one hand, you've got a cluster of 3 golden opportunities to kill off the game, to get that final 2-1 goal. They come on the last 20 seconds of the game. Griezmann sends a long ball. Vitinha's going in one-on-one defending against 𝙀𝙀𝘖𝘶. He goes, he scores, bang, you're done. And now PSG has 2 losses, a draw, and a win in the Champions League. And now you need to hope that you can go and get results against Manchester City, arguably one of, if not the best team in the world, or at least certainly over the last 3 years. Bayern Munich, away from home, a place where you just, historically, PSG, you do not win. Like, come on, guys. Like, I always try to be optimistic. I always try to look on, the bright side and whatnot. I try not to be too reactionary and whatnot. But when it's time and time again, it was Newcastle at first last year. We got chances, we couldn't do it. It was the Dortmund game in the group stage, we couldn't do it. It was the Dortmund games and in the semifinals, we couldn't do it. The Girona game. Arsenal, okay, fine. Arsenal, you lose fair and square, fine. Okay, that's fine. We're a young team. Okay, Arsenal's a better team. Fine, okay, I'm okay with that. PSV at home. A team that, like, I understand, like, if PSG go out in these group stages, which I genuinely think now is a possibility, I don't want from PSG fans no excuses of, oh yeah, but we had the hardest draw. Yes, but look at the teams who you played. It's not like we've played against City. We've played all our toughest games right off the get-go. No, we had Arsenal, the only true real threat. Atletico Madrid, fine. If you go and get a draw against them, okay. I'd still be mad, but okay, fine. But no, you go and you can't beat PSV. You barely squeak past Girona. Come on. We are not who we think we are. PSG is no longer I would say currently a top 10 world footballing power on the European stage. PSG currently is the worst French team in the Champions League. PSG, the team that usually carries as the flag bearer for French football on the European stage, currently ranks dead last amongst its French compatriots. Brest, who are making their first appearance in the competition, are doing better than us. Lille and Monaco. All teams, by the way, we've played Lille, we haven't played Monaco, we've played Brest, we've beaten them in the league, we're fine in the league. These teams who Brest are making their first ever appearance in the competition, yet are able to go beat everybody, get results against Leverkusen away from home, get all these things, or get big results, win the games that they need to win. Yet PSG at home, nothing. Come on, guys, like, seriously, I'm done with this club. I'm done with this club. It's nice and all saying that, well, we play this, we play that, we're creating the most chances, Barcola, this, that, and the other. No, I want them like them, but PSG, genuinely, I think I'm coming off this whole train of, oh, no stars, this, that, and the other. There's not a problem with having a star. Having one star, so long as that star is in check, so long as the star doesn't, have absolute dictatorial authority of their club. That, unfortunately, that is the history of PSG. And it might work in the league. We might be able to do fine then. But even when Zlatan left, we still had Cavani was there. We still had Di Maria is there. All right, and even though as good as 𝙬𝙬𝘼𝙎𝙬, as all these people, like, it's just not enough. Sometimes this is a game where, as much as Kylian, he might have, stank it up for most of it, but one of those chances he puts in, he might have had an absolute complete stinker, but one of those chances he puts in and ultimately keeps us alive in the game, keeps us alive in the competition. But now we might be playing, better football and so on and so forth. But currently in the Champions League, I think we're probably in a worse result. And we're genuinely looking down the barrel right now of potentially crashing out, getting grouped in the Champions League in this new group stage. This group stage where 2/3 of the team make it through. It used to be that only the top 2 teams, half the teams got eliminated. Now 2/3 of the team make it through. If PSG failed to get out, it would be a calamitous disaster. Absolute catastrophe. I'm not saying PSG needs to go and, make it to semifinals, so on and so forth. But just getting out of these, now top 8 is gone. Forget top 8. Top 8, you need to win basically every single one of your games and hope that the other teams, begin to falter. Top 8 is done. But PSG may legitimately now not qualify for the next round of the Champions League. And I can't believe I'm saying that. I cannot believe I'm saying that. I don't care about the chances. I don't care about the stats. Stats are great and all, and I agree that they tell you a lot about the game. But when the problems are reoccurring, that you cannot put the ball in the back of the net, I don't flip and care about your stats. I don't care about your XGs and all this. If ultimately at the end of the game, there's only one stat that matters, and that's how many goals did you score? Did you outscore your opponent? If yes, great. If not, I don't care. I don't care. I'd rather be in Atletico Madrid's position. Park the bus at home. People will say, oh, yes, negative football, this, that, and the other, but we got the result. And football, at the end of the day, we can say this, that, and the other, but football is a results-based sport. But yeah, that's my rant. PSG, we are not who we think we are. PSG is no longer currently, as I speak right now, is no longer a top caliber team in European football. PSG is no longer a top caliber team in European football. PSG is no longer a top 10 team in Europe right now. And it's hard to argue for it. It's one thing to, lose against, Real Madrid and all these teams. Okay, you lost against Arsenal, fine. But losing to Atletico Madrid, given the game where you completely dominated, didn't even play with that all that well. You completely dominated to lose at home 3 times down in 5 games. No, come on, guys. We are an unserious club. We are an unserious club. That's all I have to say. Thank you guys for joining me. I apologize for, me being a bit more, reactionary and a bit more, unfiltered. Yeah, I don't know what to say. In terms of, players' performances and whatnot, some players played all right. I thought Hakimi had a pretty good game. Zaire had a pretty good game. Pacho and Marquinhos, I think, played fine. They were okay. Donnarumma didn't really have to do anything. He's not really at fault, but Barcola, not good enough. Dembele, not good enough. Nuno Mendes, as much as I always love to praise him today, absolute stinker today. Overall performance, 3 out of 10. And even that's generous. Anyways, that's me gone. Thank you guys so much for listening to me rant. Yap. Comment what you guys think. Do you guys think that PSG actually have a chance of getting out? And yeah, honestly, thank you guys so much. And remember, stay safe, stay kind, stay blessed. Godspeed.